Yes, at the drive-in.
That ain't Bill Lowry. Hey, over here. Ladies and gentlemen, yes. Yes, point it right at me, darling. Okay, our Transylvanians are on camera again tonight and announcing, and yes, we don't know what happened to the sound effect. Hey, happy Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving Eve. Everybody's sitting at home, and most everybody got the day off early. I guess they got off, a lot of people got off early today, and some people are not working tomorrow. I guess most people are not working tomorrow, except several turkeys, I guess, are going to be sacrificing their all. But we're glad to have you tuned in tonight. We've got a great show for you. We've got a guest band with us. As you can see, I'm in the midst of band equipment. We have At the Drive-In with us. They kind of describe themselves as grunge polka, a grunge polka group. So I'm sure this will just whet your appetite for what's coming tomorrow, yes. Well, anyway, we hope you have a lot of turkeys and giblets and stuffing and sweet potato pie and cranberries and all sorts of stuff. Yes, what's going on here? We're going to be right back in just a minute, and if we can get them in here and get them all grunged up. The drive-in movie guys are here with us tonight. They're going to do a little grunge polka, a little grunge polka Thanksgiving music for you, so stay tuned. We'll open up the lines. Don't go away. Bye-bye. We'll be right back. We are back here live in the studios at Channel 65. We're glad to have you tuned in, and we are honored tonight to have in the studio none other than the drive-in movie. Only it's not really a movie. This is a local band. How long have you guys been trying to?
76 years.
How long?
76.
You started in 76.
Yes. The year I was born. We don't remember much. We can run after.
They don't remember too much. We don't know what to attribute that to. But anyway, they're a local band, and they're going to play for us tonight. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Here they are, the drive-in from El Paso. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. We are back over here, I think. Yes. All I can say to that. Yes. NATO bombs again. Headlines in the USA Today. This is was the drive-in. And who's the leader of the group? No, which was the designated leader? Do we have a designated? Jared, the guitar player? Is that his name, Jared? Jarrett. Jarrett, bop on over here and sit down on the... Jared, please, over here on the sofa. Thank you very much. And plug that little thing right on there. Put it in there with some of your other piercings. Yes, okay. Put it down in a normal place. They're okay. We don't want you to pull the ring out of your nose. Okay, Jarrett what?
Wrenn.
Jarrett?
Wrenn.
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 R-E-N?
Like Stimpy.
Like a wren?
W-R-E-N-N.
W-R-E-N. Now, do your parents know you're out tonight?
I think so.
Are they watching this display of musical ability?
I really couldn't tell you. I don't know.
You don't know? Did you tell them you were going to be on TV tonight?
Definitely.
Do they normally stay up this late?
I don't know. I'm usually not home.
You're usually not home now. How old a young man are you?
I'm 12?
No, come on.
Okay, I'm 17.
I know you act about that, but you're 17. Yes. One for the old boy here. So you're 17. You're still in high school? Is most of the group still in high school?
Oh.
They dropped out or?
2/5.
Pardon?
2/5 are in high school.
2/5 are in high school. What high school y'all go to?
Hanks.
Richie Valens Junior High.
Hanks. Go to Hanks. One goes to Richie Valens, I'm sure. Now, would you really... Now, some of you, I can detect there is some musical ability here.
What?
Not much, but, you know, you're young. You're young. You need to keep practicing. Now, have you ever thought of doing anything a little more traditional?
Why?
As in... What?
Well, I don't know. I mean, as I understand it now, I mean, I'm not the hippest guy on the planet, but it seems to me that grunge is something that kind of like faded out about 3 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So aren't you guys a little behind time here?
Yeah.
I mean, don't you want to stay on the cutting edge of what's happening now?
Yeah.
Oh, punk rock was 10 years ago.
No.
Yeah, they were doing punk rock. Yeah. Punk rock was big. I was in California about 10 years ago out in Newport Beach, and that's when punk rock was its biggest.
Punk rock. Yeah, right, Cal. It's the new punk rock.
Oh, yeah, this is new punk. This is the new unimproved.
We sound like Green Day.
Huh? Well, it's hard. Now, seriously, you know, it's hard to tell what you sound like because I think I had another punk group on here. What was the name of that other punk group we had?
Foss?
Foss.
Green Day.
Yeah, Foss. We had Foss on here. And you know, comparing your musical agility, and now, I mean, with grunge, do you really have to leap around? Is that part of the criteria for?
It's fun.
It's fun. Definitely, yeah.
So you feel like, I mean, it's kind of like combining plain music with Jane Fonda workout.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, kind of. So it kind of keeps you in shape that way. Okay, now how many grunge punk rock groups are there in El Paso at the present time that you know of?
A lot.
Probably 15.
15? And where are you usually playing at? Do you play someplace or just kind of in your dad's basement?
The attic.
Alejandro's.
In the attic?
Golden Age.
Oh, in the attic or at the attic?
At the attic.
Sala says.
At the attic.
We make money doing this.
You actually make money doing this. Okay. Make money. I can't believe it. Yes. Well, it just goes to show you, you know, there's a dog for every flea, or something like that, or a flea for every dog, or, you know.
What are we?
Well, I'm not sure, but
Is there an extra microphone?
why?
Because I want to talk.
Well, you missed your chance. Next break. Next. No. Stay right here. Stay right here, please. And we just take one at a time here, basically, on this show. Put it back over there.
All right.
What'd you say?
I said that we're grunge rock.
Okay.
Grunge rock.
Okay, so there's 5 of you in the band. What's everybody's name? Introduce everybody.
Jarrett.
No, Jarrett is introducing everybody.
Jarrett, Crawley, Jim, Bernie, Kenny, Melissa, Carlos.
No, I'm talking about in the band.
Oh, Jarrett,
just the 5 guys
Crawley,
in the band. They have
Jim,
last
Bernie,
names?
and Kenny.
Now, do they have last names?
The last name.
Are you ashamed of your last name here?
My parents are ashamed of me.
Your parents are ashamed. Now,
Wouldn't you be ashamed of me?
no, I wouldn't be ashamed of you. I mean,
No, I just don't
Hey,
want to bring my family in shame.
you don't want to bring your family any shame.
Because the only key that we know we're in is when we're in Florida.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, do most of your folks approve of you being in this kind of a band? Or
Yeah, they do.
they do? I mean,
They like it.
do they feel like
They have musical tolerance.
they have music tolerance?
Yeah.
And that's what we have here on this program, obviously. We have everybody on here. We've had all sorts. Now, a lot of the kids down at your school, do you feel like, have you heard the phrase Generation X?
Yes, it was a good. They were a good band until Billy Idol went solo.
Uh-huh. I didn't know that that Billy Idol had a band named
That was his
Generation
first
X.
band,
Was that?
Generation X.
So that shows you where I was at. I guess the media has basically labeled a bunch of kids, as Generation X because the kids themselves have expressed a feeling of confusion, that they're not hippies, they're not yuppies, they're not,
It's confusion rock.
they don't know who they are, where they're at, they have no identity. You feel like that? You feel like that you're in a kind of a twilight zone here? You've grown up between the 80s and the 90s, and
Labels are labels.
so that's kind of the attitude. They say Generation X, like, who cares? I mean, is it kind of like, I don't care, we don't care, who cares, nobody cares?
Well, we're all our own personal little Rod Serlings, but I mean, still, Proposition 187 could turn into a typical 187 in the neighborhood,
Okay, you're not being picked up because we don't have you wired for sound.
Okay.
We only have Jared right now wired for sound. So seriously, do you feel like a lot of kids in high school and around feel like maybe they come from families that, how many come from torn up families? How many come from broken families? Just a little survey here. Divorced families?
Family's not broken.
We repaired though.
Trying to get repaired. So do you think that causes a lot of bitterness or anger? And in grunge rock, I've got to be real honest. If you'll get real for a minute, I don't know if you will.
Let's get real.
Because it's hard. It's hard a lot of times, especially kids, young people, when they're in a group, to get them to be serious. You just cut them out and get them alone. They'll talk to you pretty serious. But when they're in a bunch, it's hard to get them to to be serious. But a lot of kids nowadays are very lonely. They're very disorientated. And do you feel that's a problem? I mean, hey, a lot of kids are committing suicide.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't affect me.
Huh?
It doesn't affect me. I don't know. I don't pay attention really.
So do you care about anybody else other than yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Like who? The guys in the band? Outside the band? I mean...
A few, yeah.
So what's education mean to you?
Education?
Yeah.
Tell them what you got on your SAT, man.
Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed.
1310.
Not too bad. So, okay, so what do you plan to be? Are you going to go on to college?
Definitely.
What are you going to major in?
Chemistry.
Chemistry? You want to be a chemist?
No. Go to med school afterwards.
You want to go to med school? You want to be a doctor?
Maybe.
What
surgeon.
field?
I don't know. I really haven't thought about it.
You haven't thought about it. You obviously have thought a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah, but not that specifically.
He's going to be a rock star.
So it's pretty hard to break into the rock star scene, I think. It's pretty much of a political thing. Yeah, except unless you're from El Paso, then it's just a piece of cake, man. You're just right in there. One of the main towns where they pick up most of the rock stars, and yes, you can't even get country western. Please, young man, pick that up and control yourself over there. Thank you very much. Okay. We got okay, we're going to open the lines up. 833-0650. This is Thanksgiving Eve.
Hello.
Thanksgiving Eve. What do you think about Thanksgiving? What's your views on Thanksgiving?
I don't know, Cedric?
There's another little mic laying over there.
I'm thankful for giving.
There's another little mic laying over there. You probably can figure out, how to use it. Yeah.
Okay.
It has a pin in it, so you can pierce it in there to some part of your anatomy. Any place except on the mouth, okay? Because it'd be too close. So what does Thanksgiving mean to you?
Thanksgiving means playing on Let's Get Real and showing the world that we rock. What's really going on? You know, I watch a show and it's called Let's Get Real, but I don't ever see like an opposite like viewpoint. It's always like one side every time.
Well, see, but that's the advantage you have when you pay for the airtime. You can put on what you want to put on. We got to take a break. Are we going to break? Oh, we're not going to break yet. Okay, I thought he was giving me hand signals over there. Young man, please sit down over there and stay away from the camera. Yes.
No Effects is coming into town, so all you punk rockers come down and see No Effects.
No, who's No Effects?
No Effects is like a really...
Hello, you're talking to me. Who's No Effects?
It's a really big band from somewhere in California, and they started their own record label like we have. And they've rocked ever since, and they've like brought their own label, to like a lot of money.
Okay, now what about the one guy that rocked there and right out and shot himself in the head with a shotgun?
Yeah, it was all his parents' fault.
He went out like a king.
Oh, he went out like a fool. He died like a fool dies.
Oh, well, not really.
Come on, I mean, hey, let's get real here. He was unhappy. He had everything. He was the king of the grunge rockers there, wasn't he?
But he didn't want to be, though.
Come on, what do you mean he didn't want to be?
But if you're put on a pedestal on a flower that's going to crumble, why even be put on there,
Well, so then the main thing here is, would you say then is what he was shooting for was to be offensive to all people and to be disliked by all people, but instead in his quest to be disliked by everybody started liking the dude, and he couldn't handle that.
Yeah, well,
he couldn't handle people being nice to him.
Yeah.
People being nice to him.
Well, I'm just saying he couldn't.
He was the kind of kid that grew up and was picked on at school, He was the geek, the outsider.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, his music made him big. And all of a sudden, dorks that would, pick on him in high school are singing the words to his songs. How would you feel, So of course he's gonna hate the world because half the world already hated him in the beginning.
Well, why would he hate the world? I mean, if he achieved a semblance of success and recognition, why would that be such a turnoff to him that he'd have to blow his brains out? He had a wife and a kid. Wasn't that a little bit selfish to desert them and leave them hanging?
I personally like to go shop at Kmart without somebody coming up to me asking me for my autograph.
But see, but then why get in a band? Why play? I mean, obviously... No. Come on, let's get real. Obviously, you guys are extroverts. You like to be seen. You wanted to be on a show. And the way you dance and jump, and that's not... I've worked with a lot of bands. Believe me, I've worked with a lot of bands, and there are musicians that are, extremely skilled and talented, and will just, like a Chet Atkins. I don't know if you know Chet Atkins. He can play anything. I'll guarantee he can play grunge. He can play he's covered all the Beatles music, Lennon's music, everything else, but he'll just sit down and just, like, tear the neck off of a guitar playing,
Well, we basically started playing music because we all suffer from narcolepsy.
Epilepsy, okay. We'll be right back. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get real with great gobs of Thanksgiving dressing, dumplings, and Thanksgiving music from the drive-in. Yes, at the drive-in. Excuse me, I stand corrected. Here they are at the drive-in with a little turkey gobbler music. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, even the horses are liking that one. And we got Jim, no last name over here, to protect the innocent or the guilty. A lot of energy going out there, Jim, a lot of energy.
Thanks.
And we appreciate you guys coming down.
Thanks
We
for
got phone calls here still lit up. We'll take a couple more phone calls. But takes you a while to get calmed down. Now, you guys... Yeah, now, you guys, what's your attitude towards drugs?
It varies. We don't really talk about it.
You don't talk about it. You don't...
Well, I mean, there's no point to be making for us. We don't stand on any platform.
You don't?
I don't like pro-drug bans because I think that it's a lack of intelligence to just sing about one thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, most musicians do drugs. I don't have a problem with it as long as it doesn't hurt other people, really.
No, it does hurt other people, though, doesn't it, in the long run? I mean, if you really
that's
think
an
it
opinion
through.
that I don't really talk about.
So you're trying to remain neutral on drugs.
Well, I mean, I could say my opinion and make him mad, or him mad. I could say my opinion and make you mad, or I could just keep it to
Well,
myself.
everybody's got to stand for something or you fall for anything, as some wise
I'll
man
fall for
said.
anything.
You'll fall for anything. Now, isn't that kind of a...
Desperate? Yeah.
Yes. What's most of the guys' view on religion now? What do you think about religion?
It just varies from person.
Organized religion?
I mean, I've been going to church a long time.
No, you have?
Yeah, I'm religious in a way, and in a way, I believe in the human race as a religion. You know what I mean? I mean, I take.
Where do you guys pick up most of your philosophy? What would you say? Hello, guys. Can we sit down here and pay attention? Okay, thank you very much. I'm a traveling preacher, but it's hard to talk to a traveling crowd. Yes. So where do you think where do you pick up most of your input, where you form your ideas, your philosophies, your attitudes? Where does that come from? Where are you picking it up at?
Life.
Well, come on, life. That's too general.
Well, no,
come on,
I don't
school.
I don't preach anyone
I'm not
else's
talking
views.
about preaching. I'm talking about you've got opinions. You're a very opinionated bunch.
I opinionate what my opinions come
Okay,
from.
where are you forming your opinions from?
Well, my opinion on drugs is from experiencing them and seeing my friends experience them, and then seeing how life relates after, before, during.
Yeah.
My experience on religion is being there, doing it, seeing it, going to religious conferences, camps, talking to different ministers in the world. I've based my own opinions on the experiences that I've seen and had.
Okay, so you're not sitting around reading a lot of books or...
I read. I don't read a lot, but I read. I don't like taking other people's opinions and just spitting them off as rhetoric.
Yeah.
I don't like listening to someone tell me this is wrong, so I don't do it.
Yeah, well,
I would rather go out there and experience
you're
it.
very close to true religion, because that's true religion is an experience. It's not something your mom taught you, your dad taught you, or some preacher or priest taught you. It's something you've got to experience for yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, it is a proven fact. A life experience tells us sooner or later everybody dies.
So far.
Yes, got a little rise there from... did I get an amen over there?
Amen!
Yes.
Cut that taste where you sit down on the beaded impotence of New Orleans. Can't suspense when that telephone rings. This is full round.